Cracking the case: the importance of principles. Solving crimes might seem like something you only see on TV, but in reality it's a process based on logic and clear thinking. Just like a doctor uses a stethoscope to understand what's wrong with a patient, investigators use a set of principles to solve crimes. These principles are like a roadmap, guiding them towards the truth. By following these principles, investigators can piece together the puzzle of a crime, no matter how complicated it may seem. What happened? Identifying the crime. The first step in any investigation is figuring out what actually happened. This is the foundation upon which the entire case is built. This might sound obvious, but it's not always simple. The complexity of the scene can often cloud the initial judgment. Imagine a house is a mess with things thrown everywhere. The chaos can be overwhelming and misleading. Is it a burglary or just someone who's very messy? The distinction is critical and requires a keen eye. Investigators need to carefully analyze the scene to determine the true nature of the crime. Every detail, no matter how small, can be a vital clue. For example, signs of forced entry would suggest a burglary, indicating that someone broke in with the intent to steal, while a messy house with no signs of intrusion might point to something else entirely. It could be a domestic dispute or even an accident. Identifying the crime correctly is crucial because it sets the stage for the entire investigation. It influences the direction and focus of the investigative efforts. It determines what evidence to look for, who to interview, and what legal charges might be filed. The accuracy of this initial identification can make or break the case. A mistake at this stage can send the entire investigation down the wrong path. Misidentifying the crime can lead to wasted resources and missed opportunities to solve the case. Therefore, taking the time to thoroughly understand the crime scene is essential. It ensures that the investigation starts on the right foot and increases the chances of a successful resolution. How was it done? Unraveling the method. Once investigators understand what crime took place, they need to figure out how it was committed. This is a crucial step in the investigative process. This involves analyzing the crime scene for clues, examining any physical evidence, and interviewing witnesses. Each piece of evidence can tell a story, and it's the investigator's job to piece these stories together. For example, in a theft case, investigators would look for fingerprints, footprints, or any other trace evidence that might have been left behind by the perpetrator. They would also search for signs of forced entry, such as a broken window or a damaged door lock, which can indicate how the criminal gained access. They would also try to determine if the perpetrator used any tools or special techniques. This can involve examining marks left on surfaces or identifying unusual substances. Understanding the method of the crime can provide valuable insights into the perpetrator's skills, resources, and potential motives. It can reveal whether the crime was premeditated or opportunistic. It can also help link the crime to other similar incidents or even identify potential suspects with similar methods of operation. By comparing the current crime with past cases, investigators can spot patterns and make connections that might not be immediately obvious. This comprehensive approach ensures that no detail is overlooked and every possible lead is explored. The method used in the crime can often be the key to solving the case and bringing the perpetrator to justice. Who did it? Finding the guilty party. Identifying the perpetrator is often the most challenging part of an investigation. Investigators use various methods to achieve this, including gathering eyewitness accounts, analyzing physical evidence for DNA or fingerprints, and reviewing surveillance footage. They might also look into the victim's background and relationships to identify any potential suspects with a motive. Finding the perpetrator requires a combination of meticulous evidence collection, careful analysis, and sometimes a bit of luck. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle where each piece of evidence brings the investigators closer to identifying the person responsible for the crime. Where did it happen? Pinpointing the location. Determining the location of a crime is not always as straightforward as it seems. Sometimes the crime scene might be obvious, like the victim's home. However, in other cases, the crime might occur in one location, while the body is found elsewhere, making it crucial to determine the primary crime scene. Establishing the location can provide valuable context to the crime. It can help investigators understand the perpetrator's movements, identify potential witnesses, and uncover any connections between the location and the victim or suspects. When did it occur? Establishing the timeline. Knowing when a crime took place is crucial for building a solid case. Investigators use various methods to establish a timeline, such as analyzing phone records, checking alibis, and reviewing surveillance footage. For example, if a robbery occurred at a bank, investigators would review the security footage to determine the exact time of the incident and identify any potential suspects. Establishing a clear timeline helps investigators narrow down their suspect pool, eliminate false leads, and build a stronger case. It allows them to track the movements of individuals involved and identify any inconsistencies in their alibis. Why did it happen? Uncovering the motive. Understanding the motive behind a crime can be crucial in solving it. Motive refers to the reason why someone would commit a crime. It could be anything from revenge to financial gain, jealousy, or even mental instability. For example, a business competitor might have a motive to sabotage a rival's company, or a jealous lover might have a motive to harm their partner. While motive alone is not enough to convict someone, it can provide valuable insights into the perpetrator's state of mind, their relationship with the victim, and the circumstances surrounding the crime. The principles in action. A burglary investigation. Let's imagine a house has been burglarized. The scene is chaotic with broken windows, a ransacked living room, and a sense of violation hanging in the air. Using the 6 principles of investigation, the detectives would methodically approach the scene to uncover the truth. First, they need to confirm it was indeed a burglary and not vandalism or something else. This involves a careful examination of the scene to distinguish between different types of crimes. Then, they look for signs of forced entry, such as broken locks or windows, and any tools left behind. These clues can reveal the method of operation used by the burglar. Next, they would dust for fingerprints on surfaces the burglar might have touched, gather DNA evidence from items left behind, and interview neighbors about any suspicious individuals or activities they might have noticed. After that, they analyze the specific areas targeted within the house. This helps them understand the burglar's movements and priorities, such as whether they were looking for cash, jewelry, or electronics. Determining the time frame of the burglary is crucial. Investigators analyze home alarm systems, gather witness statements, and review any available surveillance footage to pinpoint when the crime occurred. Finally, they investigate if specific valuables were stolen, such as a missing jewelry box or an emptied safe. This can suggest whether the burglary was a planned heist targeting specific items or a crime of opportunity. By meticulously applying these principles, investigators can build a comprehensive picture of the crime. This detailed understanding helps them work towards identifying and apprehending the perpetrator, bringing a sense of justice and closure to the victims. The importance of collaboration teamwork in investigations. Solving crimes is rarely a one-person job. It often involves a team of professionals, including detectives, forensic experts, crime scene investigators, and sometimes even psychologists or profilers. Each member of the team brings their unique skills and expertise to the table, contributing to the overall success of the investigation. Effective communication and collaboration are essential for ensuring that all leads are followed, evidence is analyzed thoroughly, and the investigation progresses efficiently. By working together, the team can overcome challenges, share information, and ultimately bring the perpetrator to justice. The limits of principles, challenges, and complexities. While the 6 principles provide a solid framework for investigations, real-life cases can be messy and unpredictable. Witnesses might provide unreliable information, evidence can be contaminated or lost, and some crimes are carefully planned to leave no trace. Furthermore, investigators might face pressure from the media, the public, or even their superiors, which can complicate the investigation process. Despite these challenges, the principles remain a crucial guide for investigators, helping them navigate the complexities of criminal investigations and strive for justice. It's important to remember that every case is unique, and investigators must adapt their approach while adhering to ethical and legal guidelines. Conclusion: principles as the foundation of justice. The 6 cardinal principles of investigation are not just abstract concepts, they are the building blocks of a just and equitable society. By adhering to these principles, investigators ensure that investigations are conducted thoroughly, evidence is gathered and analyzed meticulously, and conclusions are based on facts rather than assumptions. These principles are essential for holding perpetrators accountable for their actions, providing closure for victims and their families, and maintaining the integrity of the justice system.
Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37 verse 5. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4 verse 13.